Hi, everybody. Coach Allison back. And this week, week 2 of Defy Aging, we are back to mobility. So, yes, if you have not been with us for a mobility week, welcome to mobility week. It's a little bit different. Kind of in the name, we're going to be focusing on movements that more so have a direct focus on mobility. So it'll have a little bit different feel from a standard Defy Aging workout. So this week for mobility, it's going to be a standard rotation around the turf, 6 stations. We're going to rotate for 4 rounds. Every round is going to be timed the same at 45 seconds on, 25 seconds off. All right, and let's review what those 6 stations are. Station 1, we're going to do a bird dog variation. So we're going to be on the floor. It's going to be a 1, 2, 3 bird dog. Very similar to our 1, 2, 3 Superman lift. So bird dog is hands and knees. Want that nice flat spine. And make sure you have those knees directly under hips, hands directly under shoulders. Want a spine neutral, meaning your neck is neutral, so we aren't going to be looking straight ahead, but we also don't want to be dipping the head down too far. Okay, bird dog is we have one leg lifting up and back and the opposite arm lifting forward. That's standard. But with the 1, 2, 3, we're going to be lifting them. It's going to challenge the balance quite a bit more. We're going to be lifting them on 3 little increments up. So it'll look like this. We go 1, 2, 3. That third one should be the final lift. So my leg is as high as I can get it, and so is my arm. And then you come down. And we're going to continue on that same side for the first half of the set. Your coach will call out the halfway point and you'll switch. So I'll do a few in a row. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If it helps at all, see the other side. My leg in there, yeah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Really does challenge the balance, and you might find yourself kind of tipping a little bit, and that's just fine. Incline if needed, so anyone staying off the floor, we're going to find a bench or a box, okay? And we can easily do that same thing up on one of our boxes or benches. Everything is the same. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, and that is our 1, 2, 3 bird dog. Second station is a TRX deep squat. So we're using the TRX to allow us to help us get deeper into our squat. So if I don't have this, my normal squat might be kind of to here. You know, maybe I'm not quite getting those thighs parallel to the floor, keeping my butt up quite a bit. TRX is going to help you to allow to get more flexion in your knees, so more of a bend in your knees, sinking my hips lower towards the floor, maybe even almost all the way down. If you have, the ability in your knees to bend that much. If you have any restriction, maybe a past knee replacement or surgery, any sort of medical restriction where you aren't supposed to bend your knees to that much flexion, definitely heed that advice first, of course. But so, yeah, if you're able to get this slow, great. No, that's okay. These are great for 2 things. They're helping to keep you up. So it's, whereas I might feel the urge to tip back if I was doing this just out in the open without these, but they're also assisting you in getting back up. So you're able to pull on these to help you get your body weight back up. And it kind of guides you down as well. So it takes off a little of your body weight because they're helping you get back up. What we aren't doing though is 100% leaning back. So we're not doing this. So you shouldn't be starting. Now, if I let go of these right now, I would 100% fall back. So you're doing a normal squat. Pretend I didn't have these in my hand at all. Just a normal squat, right? These are just here. Sometimes you have to get the placement, a few test reps to get the right placement down. So if you start too far back like this, and these are kind of pulling you, you're like, oh, nope, that was too far back, inch forward. So sometimes you have to do a few test reps first to get your feet in the right position. Remember, you aren't leaning back like you're doing a row, so you shouldn't be suspended back. It's a normal squat, And you just have those TRXs in your hands. Okay, so there's our TRX deep squat. Do a few test reps first, see how low you are comfortable getting, both with, again, how the knees feel, but also the strength in those legs and glutes, as far as how low you can get to the ground. All right, the next station is a Spider-Man rotation. This one's really more of a stretch, but it's got some great mobility for the torso, a little bit of hips, and a lot of shoulder. So, on the floor, one leg is stretched as far back as you can get it. Now look at my back foot. It's preference really if you'd like to be up on a toe like that, or place the flat of the top of the foot down. I like to do that. But you do want this leg stretched out as far as you can. We don't want it to have a big bend, like a half kneel position. That's not what we're going for. So do stretch it as far back as you can so we're getting this good stretch through here. The other leg, we want a 90-degree bend in the knee. So we don't want this leg bent too far in like this. I'm actually going to switch legs so you can see that better. Okay, so see how I have this 90-degree bend. You want this front foot should be flat on the heel. So if the heel is coming up and you're on the toe, we want to fix that. Okay. Then we have both hands on the inside of that front leg. So we're not having one arm on the outside and one arm on the inside. Both arms are on the inside of that front leg. The best way to show you this. Let me do a whole reset here. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now the hand that's close, and the back leg, you are resting the knee on the floor. You don't have to have that leg hovered up off the floor. So rest it down. The hand that's closest to the front foot, that's the arm we're going to be rotating up to the ceiling. You rotate up, it's kind of a 180 turn, and back down. You let your head and your gaze go with it. Okay? And then, of course, when you switch sides, just like that. So what we don't want to do is twist, but keep the head down. That doesn't help you to get as good of a range of motion. So look at how I'm twisting here. Watch how better my range of motion gets. You see that big difference if I look up too. So you're staying off the floor. Halfway through the time your coach, there's a couple things we're switching halfway. So when you hear that halfway call, that's when you're going to switch sides. Anyway, if you're staying off the floor, you're going to grab a bench or a box, one of our incline surfaces. You're going to do a staggered stance like this. And you're going to do that same kind of thing. Well, I'll show you like this. Same kind of thing. Whatever leg is forward, so that my right leg is forward, my right arm is going to be the arm twisting up. Okay? So it's really the exact same thing. You're up on an incline is the only difference. So that's our Spider-Man rotation. All right, next station, we got the mini band for this. Mini band bridge abduction pulses, long name. Okay, so just above the knees for this, where you want the band, we're lying down. Okay, we're gonna lift into, we want the feet close together for this. Lift into our bridge, and then we're gonna do an abduction, so we're pressing the knees outward. Okay, and then we're just gonna do little pulses, so we're not bringing the knees all the way back in each time, like this. Keep the knees out and just little pulses. Use a firmer band for this. I mean, everyone's a little different, but I'd say medium to heavy, because our glutes and our hips are pretty strong. Try to keep the hips up the whole time, so make sure those hips aren't starting to sink down. All right. And for anyone staying off the floor for any of our stuff, grab yourself a bench or a box. And we're going to do the abduction pulses seated, the alternative. So again, feet close together, band just above the knees. We're going to do the abduction, so knees out, and then just do the pulses. Really exactly the same. Seated. Okay, just like that. All right, so that's our mini band bridge abduction pulses. Next up, we have medicine ball overhead rotations. So grab medicine ball, of course. And we do have some quarter turns here with an overhead press. Yeah, start at the chest. We're going to do a quarter turn. So anytime you do a quarter turn, you want to pivot that opposite foot. So I'm turning left, pivoting my right foot, quarter turn, press overhead, back to center. Other direction, press overhead, back to center. Notice my feet each time I'm doing that quarter turn. Also, watch when I'm pressing. I'm pressing relatively straight up, a little bit in front of my body, but I want to make sure I'm pointing out that I'm not pressing like excessively forward. That's going to create some like downward pressure. We don't want that feeling of it's pulling you down. So, but you don't have to go exactly up and over the head. So make sure it's clearing, clearing your face here, your head, but mostly going, for the most part, going relatively straight up. It's going to be a lot of shoulders, but that quarter turn, great for the coordination, great for the balance, stability. And again, we're getting that good shoulder work. So, yep, let's give that one a try. All right, for this last one, we're back to our wall slide. This one is Trixie. Done it quite a few times. Shoulder mobility. So we need a wall. Got plenty of those, at least 4. Step your feet out. So we don't want to be, we're not straight up against it. We actually do want to be stepped out quite a bit. So you're leaning into it. All right, the starting position's already challenging. So you're going to have a natural arch of your low back. That's fine. It's okay if you can slide your hand in the gap between your back and the wall. That's fine. That's normal. So you don't have to force that arch back against the wall. What you do want your butt against the wall and then your upper back against the wall. And then as much of your rear delts against the wall as possible. And then as much of all of the back of your arm, and I'm talking your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, bicep, everything, and your head. Okay, and then we slowly slide up, trying to keep all that glued to the wall if possible. Straighten the arms at the top, squeeze them straight if you can. How much of your arms are still glued to the wall? Fingertips, wrists, everything, and then slowly slide back down. We're not going fast. We're not doing this. We want to go slow. So in the 45 seconds, if you only get 3, maybe 4, that's fine. That's good. Okay? So a lot of people's wrists come off. That's pretty normal. Or elbows, it's fine. You're doing the best you can. I'm trying to open up this, work that shoulder mobility. So you just do the best you can. Slide back down. Okay. So that is our wall slide. It's a toughie, and when you're done, you might feel the urge to kind of slouch for a moment. That's totally fine because these shoulders are going to be tense. Yep, give it a try. All right, so for the team builder, I'm actually going to leave this up to trainer's choice this week. I do want to do something with a cardio focus because this routine did not have a cardio focused station. So we're going to do something, hopefully 4 to 5 minutes of a cardio focus. It might be steady state on the machines. It might be something involving our tank or our medicine balls or our ropes. It might be something super creative because I know our coaches had some really fun creative ideas. So trainer's choice for a team builder.